Hello, my name is Tom Siles, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show number 154. And what you're looking at here is an emergency radio made by Eton and endorsed by the American Red Cross that I did a review of. I think it was show number 126. And I really like this radio. It has some nice features, and I really liked it. And what has happened, put this guy over here, I now have one of its big brothers. Let me put them side by side, or close together here, so you can see that it's a lot larger. And this one, the little red one, is the FR360, which I did a review of. This one is the FR500. Now, this radio has been discontinued, so I did not buy this new, and I just got this today. I did not buy this new. What Amazon has is they have used equipment on the Amazon, and some of the used equipment is sold by individual dealers. And I was a little concerned about that because it was an individual dealer, but I did contact Amazon, and they gave me some information about having to return a unit if it was defective or whatever, and they said they will work with me and the seller and satisfy both of us. So I thought, okay, I consider it. Now, this radio, its replacement, it was replaced by the FR600. The FR600 you can get new, although it's getting phased out too, and it's $160 on Amazon. $160. Well, guess what? I got this one for $14.95. $15. I got this for $15, so I couldn't pass it up. And the seller described it as in the open box. All the documentation is there. There's no scratches or anything. Completely functional. So I thought, $15, I'll take the risk. So I ordered it. About a week ago, came in today. So today I want to just give you a quick overview of the deltas between these two radios, because they're basically the same radio, except this one, and I think I bought this one, the little guy here, on sale. Amazon has a sale on it for, I believe it was $35. So, and I think that was like half price. So the little one is normally around, I'm pretty sure it's around $70, $75. Anyway, so I got this one, and I was going to tell you a little bit about the differences. Now, the first big difference, that's obvious difference besides just being larger, is the display is much larger. And for me, with my poor eyes, totally readable. So that's a big difference for me. Now, it's AM, FM, and weather band, just like the other one. And it has a shortwave band from, we dig it out of here out of the manual, from 5.8 megahertz to 12.2 megahertz shortwave. And that's kind of the middle of the shortwave band, and it's the most active part of the shortwave band. So it has shortwave. That's what caught my eye, because I'm interested in shortwave and I'm interested in emergency radios. Now, power-wise, it's exactly the same as the little guy. It has a crank for dynamo power. It has a little rechargeable battery pack that you can charge with a dynamo, or get the antenna down here, or the solar array on the top will charge that little battery pack too. And probably like the little guy, it's only slightly larger. But the little guy, you had to have it in direct sunlight for like 4 or 5 hours to get any charge at all. Okay, has, like I say, it has a little rechargeable battery pack, and you can put in 3 AA batteries. Same thing with this guy. So that's the same. It has a port in the back under one of these guys. If I can dig it out here. For an AC adapter, which it does not come with, neither did the other one. And while we're here, we have a earphone jack and a audio in, so you can plug in your MP3 player in this and use the speaker that's inside this thing. And on this side, we have a USB connector for charging your cell phone, similar to the other radio, and a mini or micro USB connector for providing power to charge the little battery pack. I don't think you can run the radio on that, but you can charge a little battery pack and via USB, and then use the battery pack for power. So that's still all the same. The crank on this guy is larger, and as I mentioned, I think in my review before, this crank was a little small, so it was a little rough on my big fat hands. This one, I've done some cranking and it's no problem holding on to the crank. Now it has weather alert capability, which the other one had also. It also has some other functions that the little guy didn't have, and they're via this switch here. Now you can see on the little guy, it's only got one switch on one of these, and it's the volume control. The volume control on this guy is on this side. So these are some other functions you can use. The top function is when you have the radio set up to give you an alarm when the NOAA station puts out a weather bulletin alarm. You put it in that position. The next one is to turn that off. The next one is to turn the light on. Now, this one, let me turn it off, see the battery. This one has actually, and you don't notice it right away, but there's actually 5 LEDs in there, where this one has only 4 LEDs. Not a big deal, but you'll see in a minute what the extra LEDs do for you. So it has what they call in the manual an SOS position, to send out a distress signal. Now, I thought that meant that it would actually send out in Morse code using a little flashlight SOS, but it really doesn't. What it does do is it flashes. Center LED right now is flashing. And I think it cycles and goes to the 4 LEDs eventually. But I can't detect that's SOS. Now, that could be just me, but I can't detect that that is Morse code SOS. So anyway, I would call that, if that's not the case, and it doesn't appear to be to me, then I would just call that, a signal, red blinking signal. And the next position is, stand by, is an alarm. I warned you to stand by. Okay, so the SOS and the alarm, the siren, was not a function in the little guy. So that's new functions. So you got the so-called SOS or blinking light function, and you got the siren. And I guess you would use that like you were trapped in some rubble and you couldn't talk very well. You could, and you had this radio with you, you could signal whoever's trying to dig you out. So I guess that's where you could use it. So you got those functions that are in addition to what's in the other little guy. You have the shortwave band, which the little guy doesn't have. You have a bigger display. You have the timer and sleep stuff. That's all there. You have a nice backlight. Let me see if I can see. You got a nice green backlight. I really like that green backlight. So this one, I think this was just the white LCD type backlight. So I like that. So that's kind of the radio. This guy, the telescopic antenna was on the back. It did swivel. This one, the antenna's in the top. It just extends. It does not swivel. Yeah, it does not swivel, which is a little drawback to me. Although neither one of these, make sure I'm correct. Whoa, neither one of these have a stand so that you would set it like this, so that you would need a swivel to get the antenna vertical again. So swivel is not really needed, although the other one had it. So that's kind of the review. This is the FR500. It's been discontinued. You can still find, I found this used on eBay in basically new condition. The box had some scuffs on it, but that was about it. Also, this one has a bigger speaker, of course, because it's got a bigger case. So the sound quality is a little better. It's not quite as tinny. The volume on this one is there's a lot more volume than the little guy. The other thing is, I was looking at the reviews of this guy, trying to figure out, why did Eton replace this guy with a newer model? And the newer model, which is the 600, I believe, looks like it's the functionality is the same. I may have missed something, but it looks like the functionality is the same. The one thing I saw in some of the reviews, several reviews, is the weather alert function. They said didn't work, that it was on intermittently all the time. And I had a problem initially when I was trying to set it up, because it's not straightforward when you set it up. You have to put it in the alarm mode, so this light comes on. Then you have to turn the radio on. Turn it on. Turn the radio on. Okay. Oh, I'm wrong. As you can see, even though I just used it a few minutes ago, I forgot how to use it. So I can see where the people were having problems with this function. So you have to put this in the off position. So this is kind of the function select for all these functions. You have to put it in the off, and it's described in the manual. Not very well, but described. Put this in the off position. Turn the power on. They're turned on or off. Okay. Turn the power on. And the other thing is, besides the light here that tells you which weather channel you're on, there's no indication in the display of the fact that you're at the weather frequencies. It's still just showing the clock. That's a little confusing to people, I'm sure. It was to me. So you turn the power on in, and you select via here. This is the band you select, this outer thing, and then so you select. Turn the volume up here.
Thunderstorms.
Get a little antenna here.
Your coastal waters forecast for the following.
So you select the band or channel of the weather channels.
Heat, scattered showers,
I'm getting
isolated thunderstorms.
I actually get two of them. So you have to do that first, and then you put this thing in that alert mode, and when you do that, this light comes on. Now, I think a lot of people, and myself included, thought that that meant there's an alert, because it will also flicker. Like, oh, it got an alert. No, it didn't get an alert. So it just went off. So that's a little confusing. But if you read the manual carefully, this light is not an indicator of an alarm. It's an indicator that it's receiving the weather station, and it's now via this switch synchronized and tracking, looking for alerts. So they go out there, that light will come on, and I assume that light means it's checked for an alert, see if it's an alert. And what the manual says, if you get a real weather alert, you will hear the alert announced in the speaker. And you can be in, once you get this synced, I call it, you can be in the other bands, AM, FM, shortwave, and the function will still work. So I think that's very confusing to people, and that's probably why they complained and they sent the radio back saying, hey, it ain't working. I'm guessing that its successor, the FR500, they changed the way that worked, so it wasn't so confusing. I mean, it confused me, and I tried it before, I had it working, and it just confused me again. So that's probably what happened here. So I'm thinking that's why they took this model off the sales floor, and they're not available anymore. Off the market, what I'm trying to say, and they're not available anymore. So anyway, I got this, like I say, used. The only thing that looked used about it was the box had some scuffs on the box. Otherwise, the radio is clean as a whistle, no scratches. It has all the accessories, and I'm really liking it. Much better than its little sister here, if nothing else for the big display and the fact that it has shortwave. So, I'm kind of trying to say is, if you see something used on Amazon, and if it's not a lot of money, it's under $50 and something you want, like I say, the replacement of this one is selling on Amazon for $160. I got this for $14.95 plus shipping. So anyway, so that's the show for today. If you have any comments about this radio, if you had problems with this weather alert thing or whatever, or maybe, you can tell me that if this thing is blinking SOS and I can't tell it, I'd appreciate you leaving a comment. If you haven't subscribed to my videos, please do so. We are up to, I think, 686 subscribers. When we get to 750, we're going to have a giveaway of that multimeter. And then when we get to 1,000, we're going to give away a radio, the Grundig G8 radio. So if you go back to my show, I think it was number 141. It's called Giveaways. You will find out what the rules are and how you can enter the contest to win either or both of those two items. Also, once again, I want to thank the people that are using my Amazon store. By you going to my Amazon store and purchasing something, I get a small commission, and then I can buy things off of Amazon like this radio to review. And you don't necessarily have to buy stuff that's in my store. You can choose something that's in my store. That will take you to Amazon. Then you can delete it. Then you can buy anything you want to. I've had several people that have bought things that are not related to radios or scanners or electronics. They bought other things, stuff maybe for their MP3 player or whatever. And I really, really appreciate it. I get a small commission every time you do that, and I use that commission to buy radios to review. So that's the show for today. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.